So let's start with like living, right? Like once you get an admit in Arizona State University, I think people live in Tempe
Yeah,
city,
that's
right?
right. Yeah.
So can you tell a bit about the areas in Tempe which are safe and which are not that safe? Where is the Indian community saturated? Where usually students look for like rent, like what do you say, rent houses? And what are some Facebook groups that like how did you approach your journey of like finding a roommate and eventually finding a house for rent?
Absolutely, that's a great question. When I got admit to the ASU, it was maybe like January or February 2019, and the semester usually starts in August, so we still have like 6-ish months to prepare for our housing. And a few things which I did for my house hunting was joining the Facebook groups, connecting with some alumni who are already working, who not working, who are already studying in Arizona State University. So Arizona State University is a ginormous, a huge university with like about 100,000 students. So and it has like different campuses as well around the Phoenix area. So Tempe is a part of Phoenix. Phoenix is a city which is like the capital city of Arizona. So Tempe is more like a college townish vibe, but still a part of the city. So that's the best thing about Tempe. I used to love Tempe. I still love. I joined a lot of Facebook groups, a few Telegram channels I was a part of. I think the name of the Facebook group was Tempe Housing something. Okay. That said, talking about where students live, there are a few options. The number one option which you should look into is the campus housing. Not many Indian, at least master student, opt for these options because it is slightly more expensive than what you can get outside of the campus. But that is like one of the very good and easier options. You can just email the university that, hey, I'm looking for on-campus housing, and they can give you all the necessary forms and everything that comes with that. Okay. An easier option, but slightly on the expensive end. A lot of Indian folks opt for living outside of campus. So there are multiple small, I would say, apartment complex, or maybe, yeah, like what can I call it? Like rentals, okay,
Right.
where you can rent a 2-bedroom apartment or a 1-bedroom apartment, whatever works for you, and you can start living there. So how to look for these apartments? A few places. First one being looking at the Facebook channels. That is like the best place. That's how I got my apartment. Okay, I had a few friends with me. I'll come to the friends part slightly later. Friends meaning like roommates and friends. Uh, Facebook channel. Second one is looking at some of the online websites like apartments.com, Zillow, Street Easy, where you can essentially get a vibe of how much the rent is gonna be, so that you can just have a little bit of cost estimate on your end as to, hey, you can kind of prepare yourself that I need to spend X amount of money per month in order to live in the Tempe area. So that's that. Usually in Arizona, in Tempe, you can get housing very close to the university. So my house was like 5-10 minutes ish away. I used to ride a bike there, so I had a bike. I used to love my bike. So yeah, it was 10 minutes away. And on the Facebook group, one person put on an ad that he had a 2-bedroom and he was ready to accommodate 3 people, so that we will be a total of 4 of us sharing like 2 bedrooms, and let's say like a 2-bedroom apartment within us. So I got an admit with 2 of my friends from VIT, and I already was very much decided on that I'll be sharing the apartment with both of them. So this guy sort of put an ad. We just reached out to him immediate basis. So one thing, okay, you have to be quick. You have to really apply early, because if you, let's say, lose a day, the apartment might be gone. Okay, because the admit rate of ASU is huge, so a lot of people apply. So you have to be quick.
And what about the safety, right? Because I think in Phoenix and Tempe, like I was in NYU from New York, and we had areas where people used to like saturate in terms of students because it was more safer as compared to other areas.
Yeah.
So in Phoenix, in Tempe, was like, are there areas where people should avoid, or are there areas where usually people find good rental apartments?
Phoenix and Tempe, like Phoenix in general, I would not talk about Phoenix because Phoenix is a bigger city, and like even like a 15 minutes driving is not a feasible option for most of the students who are going to the to study there, from Indian background. I'm specifically talking about them. But in Phoenix, okay, there is this very interesting thing. Okay, so I did a project during my master's. It was regarding the crime concentration of areas in the Tempe area. So the most famous crime in the area was bicycle theft.
Okay.
Okay, so that's like the most prominent areas. There had been a few serious incidences here and there, but it was not like too serious. So the area I would say is on the safer end.
Okay.
However, I would definitely recommend living close to the university, because the closer you are, the safer it is. Okay, because the university can take care. University has their own police station, and a lot of avenues. They are just very accessible if you're close to the university. So that's that. And there are, let's say, a few apartment complex which I am aware of is, for example, Tempe Terrace or Agave, or there were a few more, I'm forgetting the name, but these are like some of the very famous areas where students live. Because of the cost affordability, it's very affordable. Right. And the proximity to the campus. So these are some of the few reasons. Also, Arizona has this transit. So they have the trains
Local
which
transit.
are free of cost, local
Okay,
transits. So you can also take advantage of them. I had a few friends who were living like 10 minutes away from campus, but they used to transit to the campus. So they were living close to the transit station. That's also like one of the options which people can explore. At the end, you have to decide on what is the best cost which you know are willing to spend out of your pocket. And the second thing is the safety. I would say the area is pretty much safe, but still it is always good to see some reviews around the buildings. Most of the buildings are gated buildings, by the way, in Arizona. So it's not like anyone can come to your home and do whatever. So that does not have that is usually not the case there.